Hey, my name's Josh. Welcome to J3D Props, and today we're going to be making a mannequin for about 150 bucks. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while because I've made all these armors and I wanted to display them. Well, the problem with that is a lot of these mannequins that are conventionally inexpensive are not going to work for putting armors on. Usually the feet get in the way they're mounted. You can't put thin, like shin or thigh pieces on it, and it just becomes a little bit of a hassle. But let's get started. So for this project, the raw materials you're going to need for this is going to be a mannequin on Amazon we're going to buy. We're going to need some filament, ABS filament, or ASA is my preferred filament for this mod. And uh, we're going to need some M5 by 30 screws or whatever size screws you guys feel like having. We're going to need some M5 nuts and some rubber feet and some double-sided tape. So the mannequin, we'll get around to that. It's about 100 bucks on Amazon. We're going to go with a 1/4 inch steel tube, 4 foot long. I got this from Lowe's or Home Depot. I think they're both about $20. And our M5 screws we can get on Amazon, AliExpress, Temu, whatever your poison is, or you can go to Ace Hardware and get those screws. The rubber feet I got on Amazon. You can find these around, but they're pretty cheap on Amazon. The links for all this stuff I'm going to put in the comments of the video, and for where I got them. And I had some double-sided tape laying around that might cost you about 10 bucks on top of all that. So you might be rolling around 150 to $170. So let's get started. Buying our mannequin on Amazon for $99 with free shipping. As you can see, it's attached by the right calf on the base plate, and that's going to make it hard to put armors on. So let's go ahead and buy it and start the unboxing. Putting this thing together is very simple. Just follow the instructions. No problem at all. Once we've got it completed here, as you can see, it's attached to the right calf is where the base plate will go, and this is going to make it hard to put on armors. So I 3D designed and printed these out of ABS. These are going to be the new stands and the base plate for the mannequin. Let's go ahead and take the base plate that came with the mannequin, and we'll go ahead and take the old mount off. This thing just screws off very easy. And once we get that screwed off, what I'm going to do is just put the new base on there. And what I saw is that you're going to be able to cover up that existing hole with my base plate. We're going to put that on there. We're going to go ahead and start marking. I used a little graphite pencil, but a long marker, something nice, would be a little easier. And then afterwards, I'm pre-tapping this steel just to make it easier to drill. Yes, I know I'm abusing this table, but it is a work table to me. Make sure you buy a nice quality drill bit. This is going to be a 5mm drill bit or whatever the standard size version equivalent is. We want to have a good one so that we can drill through this steel easily. Just be careful. We're going to line up our new base plate, and we're going to go ahead and screw this in. The bolts I used were M5 by 30, and I am using these 5mm hammerhead nuts instead of standard nuts because it's all I had on hand. If you have any misalignment issues, just keep the base plate on there and drill through the rest of the base plate to line up with the base. I had to do this for at least one of them, but pretty easy. All right, afterwards we're going to go ahead and tighten these things down. Again, I'm using ABS filament just because I want this thing to be as strong as possible. Yes, it's going to be a little bit of a pain to print, but I wouldn't suggest PLA. I don't know how PTG would handle. ASA is great. Then I'm going to be putting these rubber feet on later just to keep from scratching the floor. So we've got our mount here, and I'm just going to take some standard screws. I'll put here on the screen what size I used when I figured it out. They were just in a box. And we're just going to drill it here into the lower back. And it is going to arch a little bit, which is why later we're going to have to bend the bar just a little bit to straighten it out. You can see it's on there pretty good. And now, just to make it a little easier to put on your thigh and calf pieces, especially if they're solid pieces, is we're going to have to cut these feet off. So I'm going to use a Sawzall. You can use a hacksaw. Just be careful and cut these off. There's one, and we'll get the second one done here. All right, so we did have this little nut here that came with the old base that we could screw in here. It's not really needed. Gravity does the work for you, but if you want, you can stick it in there. All right, I'm using a vice grip, but obviously you could do this somewhere else. This is 1/4-inch steel tube that I bought at Lowe's for, I think, approximately $20. And we're gonna go ahead and just give that a slight bend, very minimal. Don't go too far with this. And that's gonna be just to straighten out that mannequin since we put the base in a little bit of an angle. So that 1/4-inch steel tube just slides right in there into the base. And then we'll just slide our mannequin right here on the new base and see how it looks. All right, so this is how it looks when it's all put together. And as you can see, not too shabby. As you can see, I'm pushing on it a little bit. It has a little bit of flex, but no break. And I'm even kind of jumping on this thing, and I don't feel like it's going to crack or anything like that. So next we're going to go to these rubber feet here. This is just to keep you from scratching up your floor since we've got these nuts at the bottom of this base. I'm going to use this. I have this 30-pound double-sided tape I got at Lowe's. I'll put the price on here in the comments or here on the screen. Just be careful. I like to heat up my adhesive. It's not necessary, but I think it just gives a better bond. You could use a heat gun as well. I don't want you burning yourself. Maybe use a pair of pliers or some tweezers to hold on to it. But pretty simple. I'm just heating up both sides of this, and I'm just going to stick one in each corner. And I've been looking at them lately since I've installed everything, and they seem to be holding up pretty good. So we're going to do that for all the rest. And once we've got done with that, this is the finished mannequin. Yeah, it's a little dirty. Don't worry about it. And this is it, freestanding on its own. We've relocated that base plate just so that the weight distribution, we can put a little bit more weight and it'll push forward on that and hold up a little better. So this is with the Big Daddy Delta me and Jeremy did last year. This thing is massive. It's kind of hard to see, but this thing is a very heavy cosplay. And I did have to put a weight for it temporarily on this because he's a huge boy. But I eventually took that weight off, and he stood by himself all day, never fell. I went to work, came back, everything was great. So that just kind of shows like the weight, that ODST next to him. I don't really need a weight on him at all. And, the ODST's got some good weight to it too. Well, that's the end of the video. Thanks for joining. I hope this helps out somebody. Definitely going to do more with this mannequin mod in the future. We're going to do it to where I definitely want to do one where I can make the elbows flexible, cut off the hands, put on some articulable fingers to where we can actually have them hold something or do cool signs or, something really cool. So I'm hoping to do this video, add on to it in the future, and refine this more. If you guys want to improve upon this, show me like how you did it different, because I understand there's tons of different ways to do this stuff. So this is just the way I did it, and I did this quick and dirty. If you guys want to do something really cool, make this easy, that's awesome. So thanks for staying in. Subscribe if you want. I'll see you in the next video.